Today on the Overcorrection, we are going to be talking about the Goa Thar crash, which has replaced the Pune Porsche case in this week's segments of young kids driving recklessly on Indian roads. I think that is definitely going to be a segment, perhaps deserves its own YouTube channel. And then in a more positive story, we're going to be talking about the Pali Hill Road Pact, which is a citizen-led movement to work with the BMC. We're going to talk about, how it's been doing and what we can learn from it. All this and more coming up for you on the Overcorrection. Stay tuned. A rented Thar rams into a parked Hyundai car in Goa. Driver's call to Papa has internet talking. Wo chala raha ... This is the title from a News 18 article covering the crash that happened in Goa that involved a Thar and an I-20. Now, there's a bunch of speculation around this. We're going to go through all of it through this article, talking about where I particularly find it's a little misleading, a little incomplete, and, well, I'll let you make up your mind for yourself on some of the finer details. A viral video shows a Mahindra Thar ramming into a parked Hyundai i20 in Goa, with the young driver heard telling his father, "Suddenly crash ho gaya." Netizens are reacting strongly. Now, already a bit of a difference from the title. I want to call out the title here. It says, "Parked Hyundai car in Goa. Driver's call to Papa has internet talking. Wo chala raha." Implying that the kid himself is not at fault, or he was saying something like that. But in the details of the article, the line they are quoting is "suddenly crash ho gaya," which seems to be what the kid has actually said based on the video which we are now going to watch. So before we move on with this article, let's look at the video. Now, firstly, I would like to point out that we do not have a video of the cars actually colliding. The video is taken seconds after, and I would like to note that this is the only place where I've been able to find this Hyundai referred to as parked. Okay? It does make it seem like this car was just parked, but we have not exactly gotten video confirmation of that yet. I have looked for it, and most other articles are not mentioning it as parked. So this has clearly mentioned it as parked in the headline, which I feel is, again, trying to already decide who is completely at fault here. Not trying to defend this guy driving the Thar, I'm just pointing something out. The other thing I want to point out is that both these cars are rented. The Hyundai is being driven by a resident of Madhya Pradesh who's a tourist in Goa, just like this kid from Delhi is a tourist in Goa, or this man from Delhi, this 19-year-old man from Delhi is a tourist in Goa. And the Hyundai is also rented. I know the Thar makes for a sexier story to have a rented Thar smash into what people will then assume is a local in Goa, which I don't know why makes it better or worse, but this article is clearly written in a slightly misleading way, and I do not think that is doing anyone any good. The internet is clearly out to get this kid, and maybe they deserve it. Let the police investigation go underway. But a few things to note right now. This kid took a breathalyzer. He was not drunk, okay? Accidents do happen. If he was drunk, 100% he would be liable. But he was not drunk. Secondly, there seem to be accusations that he seemed to switch seats with the female driver of the car because she was drunk and he was trying to save her. Yes, he's really playing into that Delhi men supporting women stereotype. Now, I'm not saying that's not what happened. Okay? I'm not saying that's not what happened, but subsequently, video has actually released of him driving the Thar mere minutes before the crash, which would seem to exonerate him from the claim that he switched seats with this girl. Additionally, I want to show you the end of this video clip. We'll watch the whole thing through and then pay attention at the end, where it seems this kid, after getting out of the vehicle, calling his father, as I can imagine any 19-year-old would and should do in such a situation, he seems to be getting back in the car because cars around him are honking constantly, which you can hear in the video, and he seems to be attempting to move it to the side, and these guys sort of accuse him of running away and fleeing the scene. Yes, fleeing the scene. Well after you've been surrounded by a mob and photos of you have been taken and you have informed people and you're waiting for the police and complying and yes, fleeing the scene. So these are the accusations being levied at him when the video evidence doesn't suggest that is what has happened. Was he driving rashly? Very possibly. Have I seen video of him driving rashly? Absolutely not. The video showing him driving a few minutes earlier shows him driving at a normal speed. He's driving at the same speed as a scooter that is just going there in the video before that. So I don't have evidence of him driving rashly yet. Now, how the Pune Porsche case is so different, but because of cases like that, this kid almost doesn't seem to stand a chance. Is it illegal to be 19 years old in Goa with your friends and rent a car when you can get a license at 18? Absolutely not. Is it illegal to drive on that road? Absolutely not. I have been on that road. Yes, there's a four-way intersection with very bad traffic regulations, and I can imagine anyone coming out of anywhere and accidents do happen. Again, not defending this kid, but to make all these assumptions, it's actually the Pune Porsche case kid's fault. That's why people are making all these assumptions. And Thar has apparently got a really bad name in the market now as being like the spoiled Delhi boys car of choice. Let's watch the rest of this video. I want you to really pay attention to the end where this kid seems to be fleeing the scene. His license plate is on camera. Now we see this girl in a red dress sort of walk by. We could see her earlier in the video. She was outside the car. Maybe she was just sitting in front. And by the way, in an earlier part of the video, you can see that she is not sitting in the driver's seat. If they were trying to do all this exchange, wouldn't she have just gotten out when the camera was not on her and then run to the back? Instead, she's waiting till the camera's like on her. Let me capture you moving from the front. No, I don't think they switch seats. But again, that is not for me. It's for like forensic experts to determine. And certainly not for me or you on Reddit to assume. And even if it were for us, the videos we can see right now don't seem to indicate that. And now see, as he's getting into the front of the car. You think he was fleeing the scene? There was like 300 people around him. He's not fleeing the scene. Look at the number of cars that are piled up. And if he was fleeing the scene, it's probably because those guys seem to be threatening him and might just mob attack him right now. Not saying he's in the right. But I'm saying, at least from what I can tell, accidents happen and he seems to be taking every step that a reasonable person should take. He's being polite. He's not drunk. Yes, he's calling his father. So what? He has a father who's willing to help him in a tough spot. What a piece of shit. If you're 19 years old and you have a father who would help you, wouldn't you call your father? And in this case, again, we have no proof he's done anything wrong, except be around girls who are dressed in what you might consider skimpy clothes and have a particular image. Now, with the issue of bail, right? How did he get bail so quickly? I don't know. He probably had a good lawyer. He probably worked the system. Sure, all that, probably not great. But is getting bail a little quicker than other people, or getting bail an offense? Is it a bug or a feature of the law that a kid who was deemed not to be a threat got bail quickly? Oh, he probably pulled strings and stuff. Okay, maybe. But wasn't that the right thing to have happened? If it's a bailable offense, shouldn't he get bail quickly? Has a wrong happened because his process was expedited? Yes, maybe a small wrong. But in the bigger context of what we are discussing here, can we not focus on letting the police just conduct their investigation? Let's find out if he was drunk. Let's find out if he was speeding. Let's find out about the other car. Anyways, again, I want to say I'm not defending this kid, but we'll look at some of the comments on this thing. People are losing their mind. They want this kid in jail already. Accidents do happen on the road. And look, the Thar is a massive fortress of a car. The I-20 is not. When they collide, whoever's fault it's probably going to look like the Thar has beaten the shit out of the I-20. Okay, that's just how these cars are. So yes, it's not a very sympathetic shot. The Thar looks like it just bumped into a pebble and the I-20 is blown apart. I get it. But do not be just swayed by this emotionally, and do not let kids like this Pune Porsche case kid sway your opinion of every accident that ever happens. Can't believe I'm defending Delhi people out here after all the shit we talk about them. But anyways, okay. So yeah, we've watched the whole video. We will, you'll see the article from NDTV 18, and then just really quick, I want to show you the video that was released of this kid driving his car. Yeah, so we'll just play it for you on screen right now. Here's the video of the 19-year-old man in the crash driving the car moments before the crash happened, minutes before the crash happened. Their bike goes by, and then as you can see, a car goes by very normally, and yes, you can't see who's in the passenger side, but you can certainly see that this kid is in the driver's seat. Before we wrap this story up, a claim was made by the mother of the driver of the Thar, saying that the man who was struck in the Hyundai actually suffered a heart attack or something and essentially died of complications after the accident, particularly because the ambulance took almost 45 minutes or 50 minutes to get there. Guess they don't have Blinkit. I do not mean to make light of this situation. I'm merely pointing out how stupid that is. They should have just let this kid drive the guy to the hospital in the Thar. 45 minutes for an ambulance to show up? And don't tell me it's because Goa drivers are following the speed limit. I know that junction. It's a central junction. It's not even that far from all the hospitals in Goa. It's certainly not far from all the emergency care centers in Goa. So why did it take 45 minutes for the ambulance to show up? Imagine this kid is cleared of all charges. They see enough footage of him, they determine it was a case of mutual negligence on both the car's parts. And now the only thing left to be determined is why the ambulance took so long to arrive. Everyone else in the Hyundai survived. A 5-month-old baby survived, touch wood. Thank God. But why was this elderly man denied access to a basic ambulance? Denied is a strong word, but was not able to access an ambulance at a time when he needed it the most. A tourist. So yeah, I think there are many parts to look at in this case. And we will continue to cover it as this case unfolds and is being reported. What is the Pali Hill Road Pact? The Pali Hill Road Pact refers to a long-standing unique governance agreement between the Pali Hill Residents Association and the BMC. So while most of Mumbai's infrastructure is managed solely by the civic body, Pali Hill operates under a specific partnership that empowers residents to oversee and even pause municipal projects to protect the neighborhood's character. That sounds lovely. And if you've been to Pali Hill, it is actually quite nice. Perhaps this has something to do with the residents giving a shit. Who would have thought that that could make a difference? So now, what is different about Pali Hill than some of the other premium localities in Mumbai? I would say one is that people actually use the space on the hill itself other than just being their zip code. And by that I mean they actually walk on Pali Hill. The residents of Pali Hill love walking there. They walk their dogs there. And yes, there is a problem of shit on the roads. People have started picking up after themselves, thankfully. And it happens when people actually care what is happening. You know, along with this, I'm sure there is a movement and a group of people who make sure that people pick up after their dogs on that hill. And a lot of these intangible things can make a big difference. But anyways, let's get back to this road pact and what I think is so good about it. It is specifically focused at construction laws and how they are enforced in that area. So let's go over some of these. So first component of this pact, it is an indefinite agreement. It's originally signed in the year 2000 with the then municipal commissioner, and the agreement grants the Pali Hill Road Association the authority to keep guard over the area's development. Quite simple. A security deposit for digging. Any agency, including the BMC or utility companies, wishing to dig roads for repairs must be a security deposit of 10,000 rupees per meter to the Pali Hill Road Association. This ensures that the road is reinstated to the residents' satisfaction. Amazing. 10,000 rupees per meter. Now, I don't know about construction costs, but knowing how these nominal deposits are taken, probably I would have expected 10,000 rupees for the whole road. So 10,000 rupees a meter sounds like it would maybe bite at them a little. So that is amazing. I hope this is being enforced. And I'm sure it will be, because this is privately led. Active surveillance. The association employs a team of 7 security guards who monitor construction sites 24/7 to ensure they follow the civic rules and do not spill debris onto the roads. Amazing. The private industry, private citizens doing what the government actually has tax money to do. You think we have a labor surplus in our country. People are worried about jobs. The BMC just announced a multi-thousand crore budget. They should be paying for these 7 security guards, but no, the residents of Pali Hill have to. They won't be able to get their Bentleys anymore, and they may have to spend their money on private security, which they are doing, and it's great to hear. I'm totally joking, they will have both of these things. But it's still good to see. It is good to see private citizens recognize that they are going to have to invest back into their community, which this is. Not everyone will be able to pay for these 7 security guards, but hopefully they are crowdfunding for the area. The people who can do more will do more, and people who can do less will hopefully pay their civic duty and still reap some of these benefits. And this got me thinking, why do we not have more of these private agreements with the BMC? I'm not saying like just have a private city, but engage your local constituents to say that, hey, if we just sign this and maybe each donate some amount of money, 100 rupees or whatever it is, or if some people make bulk donations, you will not have construction noise after 8 p.m. I've had friends in my building have to call the police because construction has started at 5:30 in the morning or continues until 11:30 at night. And the police do not respond to those calls, by the way. We can hire private security for this, and crowdfunded, it will be possible. So yes, this I think is a very positive story. Congrats to the residents of Pali Hill. If it's not being enforced, amazing. At least they've taken the first step. It's obviously not a perfect system, but it is, I'd say it's tangible civic engagement. It's sometimes hard to get people to just be political and be involved when it's just sort of, it's more of a statement piece than you don't actually see anything happening because of it. Something could happen. If you are bothered by dust outside your window, trust me, just getting the construction sites in your area can locally clean up your air to a certain degree. Of course it can. It's because of mostly dust pollution. And we can deal with dust very easily if we're just aware and active about it. So yes, let's end that on a positive story after the first one. Let's end this over there. Hope you enjoyed this episode. My name is Rohan Paranjpe. This is the Overcorrection. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.